can't make a fashion line or I can't make a product line because I need $30,000, $40,000. And I can tell you firsthand that you don't.
Welcome to Honest Ecommerce, a podcast dedicated to cutting through the BS and finding actionable advice for online store owners. I'm your host, Chase Clymer, and I believe running a direct-to-consumer brand does not have to be complicated or a guessing game. On this podcast, we interview founders and experts who are putting in the work and creating real results. I also share my own insights from running our top Shopify consultancy, Electric Eye. We cut the fluff in favor of facts to help you grow your e-commerce business. Let's get on with the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's the last interview at eTail, I think. Welcome to the show, Demi Marchese, the CEO, founder, chief of everything at 12th Tribe. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to chat. Little inside baseball here. This might be take two, so it's going to be twice as good.
We only did this once.
All right. We only did it once. That's why it's going to be so much fun. Take me back in time. Well, first, I guess, what are the products we're selling at 12th Tribe?
Yeah. Everything from head to toe for a woman. Hats, accessories, dresses, tops, bottoms, shoes, you name it. Full head to toe look.
How did you start this company? It's a little interesting.
On accident, as some of us do. After I graduated college, I went to San Diego State, studied communication. I really wanted to go into the fashion industry. I wanted to work for a really well-known fashion brand at the time. I was like, I either work there or I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. However, in the midst of doing that interview, I also had this blog that I started in college. I probably had it for 2 years, and it was just this kind of personal style dump. I really didn't think anyone read it. It was really just for myself. And I started to source one-of-a-kind vintage pieces. I really loved styling my friends and would invite them over and put together outfits for them. My mom would take photos of the products that I got, and then I eventually put those items that I sourced onto a website, which at the time wasn't actually even called 12th Tribe. It was called something else. But I put it on this website. It was an extension of a blog, and I stayed up all night trying to figure out how to make a Shopify website, which at that time Shopify wasn't even public yet. No one knew what it was. It was also the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
And I figured it out though and launched a website on my Instagram with my 200 followers and my blog that I guess people read. And overnight, orders started coming in. And I guess I had this following that I had built through my blog around personal style and fashion. It was just something I was so passionate about. So yeah, I quickly saw success there. Within 6 months, I moved down to Los Angeles and I said, I'm going to dress every single girl for Coachella. Mom was like, what is Coachella? And no, you're not. It's like, yes, I am. I have to. I just have this calling. I had never even been to Coachella. But I went down, booked 30 sorority pop-ups, styled all these girls from head to toe, had them in my apartment. The guy across the street at the gym would just send girls and be like, hey, across the street, this girl's can dress you for Coachella. And I was selling off the rack and off my online store. So quickly within a few months became full-time and I became obsessed.
Absolutely. Now, back then, it wasn't the products that you are manufacturing for the brand now. Back then it was vintage and started working with other partners. Let's talk about the transition between selling other people's goods and then selling your own goods.
Yeah. I always like talking about this part because many times I get the question of how much do you need to start a company? You know, I can't make a fashion line or I can't make a product line because I need $30,000, $40,000. And I can tell you firsthand that you don't. I started with $800. I was sourcing these one-of-a-kind items, turning them around for pretty strong margin. And then also started when I could afford, 6 items of one style or 12. I went to other designers or brands and started selling their product. And then, my half rack turned into a full rack, into a warehouse, and it expanded from there. But it was a good way to build capital, just not having to invest in a full line yourself. You could test styles from other brands and see what worked. It was a part of also finding out what my customer, my audience really loved before I went and took that next jump.
Yeah, and it's also, the insights from those customers probably helped you decide what to invest more in, what types of products.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a test market in a way, and allowed me some research and my own developments from there.
Absolutely. Now, we jumped around a little bit with the timeline. Let's walk through kind of the growth of the company at the beginning, and kind of the marketing avenues that you took back then. Obviously, you were launching a lot with you were styling people and kind of an influencer route. Let's talk about the difference between marketing back when you started versus now here in 2025.
Back in 2016, paid media was the wild, wild west. So when my good friend / mentor told me that they were scaling on Facebook and Instagram by putting in thousands of dollars, I had no idea what that meant. I was like, you're telling me that I can put money into this platform and it's going to bring me customers and I'm going to make more money? That sounds very simple now, but it was a huge level of trust that you had to have into this, what I would consider like a black hole. You're like,
exactly,
where is
especially for a bootstrapped company.
Totally. Where is it going? So the first 3 years of the business, I totally leveraged the organic social side of Instagram. And I will say it's a lot like TikTok is today. It was way more lucrative where someone posted, you were getting thousands and thousands of followers. If you put an Instagram story up, you could sell hundreds of products. So that was really leveraged for the first 3 years. And then we were growing triple digits during that time regardless. But then putting, taking that step into the paid side of the business, it just skyrocketed the brand even more. But, from then and now, we're sitting in a very unique place with the capabilities of AI. There's TikTok has been incredible for brands. There's so many different avenues to market. Creators are a whole nother world. That was another wild, wild west back then. People did not believe the creator world. Today, it's like your CPAs are lower going through creators than Meta, to be honest. And if you're not leveraging the creator space, then, you need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, your products were more lifestyle and kind of active per se until COVID happened. Talk me through kind of expanding the product line and what happened.
Yeah. So when I was sourcing these pieces, they were globally inspired. It was very like bohemian aesthetic, something you would totally see the 2016 girl wearing to Coachella and traveling the world. The brand was rooted on being globally inspired, and then COVID hit, and it was like, if you say you are getting into a plane and traveling, you will be canceled. So you will absolutely not talk about it.
Yeah.
So we didn't. And the consumer demand shifted us into the sweatpants world. So immediately within, days of the world shutting down, we sourced sweatpants, and all of a sudden became a place to sell sweatpants. And then from there, we come out of COVID and the surge of bachelorettes and women who are getting engaged go through the roof. And we're launching bachelorette collections. We're the first online fashion marketplace to launch collections like this. And then quickly you saw these other fashion companies like, oh, bridal line, a bachelorette line. From there, we then have expanded into office wear, where we collaborated with a pretty big influencer, and we've tapped truly almost every single avenue of the lifestyle space, which is super exciting and has evolved with our consumer over time. I always said I wanted to grow up with our customer, and that's exactly what we've done.
Mm-hmm.
We can target her at 18 all the way up to 45, 50, and we can truly offer her an assortment that is going to serve her within any time of her life there. So.
I have been in business for nearly 20 years, and very few companies I have hired in that time have performed as well as Electric Eye. They have knowledgeable staff, and our project was delivered on time and on budget. Electric Eye has exceeded my expectations, and I look forward to working with them again. That is a direct quote from one of our clients at Electric Eye. Electric Eye is a Shopify Plus partner that has helped over 100 brands migrate, redesign, and optimize their stores since 2016. If you'd like to increase your conversion rate, average order value, and revenue per session, we are the true Shopify experts you've been looking for. Right now, we're offering a free diagnostic to qualified brands that reach out and mention the podcast. Visit electriceye.io today to schedule a call and send us a message. Find out why we have over 50 5-star reviews in the Shopify partner directory. Again, that's electriceye.io. ELECTRICEYE.io. Hey everybody, today's podcast is brought to you by Intelligems, the ultimate profit optimization tool for Shopify merchants. I'm telling you this, obviously you know I own an agency. We use Intelligems when we're running split testing and CRO stuff for all of our clients. Are you looking to maximize your profits? Intelligems offers data-driven solutions to optimize your content, prices, discounts, and shipping rates. Join over 500 happy clients who have seen significant improvements. With Intelligems, you gain control over your e-commerce economics, boosting your profit per visitor by an astonishing 36%. But that's not all. Intelligems users report a 54.62 increase in revenue per visitor and a remarkable rise in conversion rates. How does Intelligems do it? Through a suite of tools that allows you to A/B test everything on your Shopify store, from landing pages to product prices and shipping rates. Imagine testing new layouts, offers, even a new Shopify theme with ease. We're testing a new landing page for our client on a new theme versus an old landing page on their old theme right now. Intelligems empowers you to find the perfect price point for your products and optimize your shipping strategy. But there's more. Boost your average order value with customized campaign offers and discover if your customers prefer free shipping or a lower list price. With over $100 million in incremental profit generated, they have over 1.5 billion transactions ran through their software. They have over 400 million shoppers that have gone through their test. Intelligems is not a tool, it's a game changer for your business. Are you ready to transform your Shopify store's profitability? Book a demo today at Intelligems.io. Empower your brand to reach new heights. Again, that's Intelligems, giving superpowers to your customer acquisition, retention, and overall profitability. We talked a lot about kind of the success and the growth of 12th Tribe. Is there anything looking back, any mistakes that were made along the way?
The mistake question.
Yeah.
Looking back on the mistakes, I would say, and this is something that I urge anyone that's innovating products often and have to resonate with the demand online with social and Gen Z and millennials, is that for like a year and a half, there was all these micro social trends that were happening, especially in the fashion industry. And it was like grandma core, grandpa core, all these wild mini trends. And coming out of COVID, we lost our voice a little bit, I would say, because we were trying to meet our customer in all these different places. Mm-hmm. And we were spread way too thin. And this is really, really common after COVID. Having spoken to a handful of friends that own brands, Nike published a handful of stories about this and like getting back to your roots. A mistake that we made is that we were trying to be too much to too many people. And that took us away from what we truly were. And I would say that, where are we in? February last year in December, me and my team truly sat down in a room for hours and we were like, who are we? What is our core?
Yep.
Who is our girl? Why did we start this company? Like, let's get back to that. And so I'm super thankful for my amazing supportive team. They're like, Demi, like, we need to get it back to how you started it, what you started it as, what the vision was, because like that's what made it what it is today. And we all, sat around and agreed. We're like, we've gone in way too many places. So sticking true to your roots is so, so important. And with how fast paced and how many opportunities there are to market to different consumers online, you have to like take a moment, pause, and like recollect with your team sometimes and make sure you're going true north.
Absolutely. I know that your team is doing some pretty interesting stuff with AI. Can you talk to us how you guys are using AI within the business and like what are some of the strategies?
My goal here is I'm going to walk away with one more AI tool and implementation. So I'll report back on what I find here. But from what we have already built into the organization is leveraging ChatGPT. I know this sounds kind of silly and like no brainer, but truly one of the hardest things has been to scale the voice of this brand because I handled a lot of the copy and now I have 15, 20 people trying to mimic the copy on different platforms, but we've trained Ryder is our ChatGPT name, and writer now will get like a director story, and that comes from me, and then the team will start to train ChatGPT on knowing how to develop that voice a little bit more similar. So that's really interesting. And then operator is also so interesting that I really want to dive into more utilizing on ChatGPT. But I mean, our customer service platforms are utilizing it. Our SMS platforms are with Attentive, and it builds out really specific segments utilizing AI. So we've seen a pretty impactful lift on the ROI from implementing AI on our SMS. It's a lot of great tools.
Absolutely. Now, if I'm listening to this and I'm curious to learn more about, the corporate wear or the sweatpants or just, the boho inspired looks that you guys started with, where should I go? What should I do?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have our sweatpants anymore because COVID's over.
Yeah.
So we got to dress girls for the memories they're making out of the house for the most part. But it's available online, 12thtribe.com. And then, of course, social media, shop 12th Tribe. And we will have another store opening soon. So if you're on our social, you can follow along there.
Awesome. Demi, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
We can't thank our guests enough for coming on the show and sharing their knowledge and journey with us. We've got a lot to think about and potentially add into our own businesses. You can find all the links in the show notes. You can subscribe to the newsletter at honestecommerce.co to get each episode delivered right into your inbox. If you're enjoying this content, consider leaving a review on iTunes. That really helps us out. Lastly, if you're a store owner looking for an amazing partner to help you get your Shopify store to the next level, reach out to Electric Eye at electriceye.io/connect. Until next time.